Hi, thanks for joining me with Judy Seeger, the founder of Six Figure Holistic Practice. Judy is going to be talking us through how to profit and keep patient retention using video, even if you're camera shy, which I know a lot of us are. In this session, you're going to learn the #1 platform for health issues, how to figure out the best video topics, which is something I think that we all pretty much struggle with. I know myself included, like what do we actually make videos on? And then finally, tools and workflow tips to make video creation a breeze. So without further ado, let's let Judy take it away.
Hey everybody, I'm so happy to be on here with my good buddy Nikki, and we are going to really rock and roll how to profit and keep patient retention in your holistic business using videos, even if you're camera shy. Not a problem, we got you covered. And this is what I know. I really want you guys to understand that after I've reached 3.1 million views on YouTube, having 5 videos go viral, that was awesome my first year, and not having to spend money on ads because people were calling after watching my videos, I had the game plan down. And I'm so happy that I get to share that with you guys because videos are really rocking and rolling. And here's why, because the #1 go-to search platform for health issues, when your patients and clients are looking for answers for their issues, they're going to video first, actually. That is now the #1 search platform. It also could reach masses, which is why I got into videos, because I got tired of being in the clinic. I've had 2, one in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and one in San Diego, California. And I got tired of one, and maybe seeing like 5, 10 clients a day. And I wanted to reach help a lot of people. Being in the cancer detox industry, I just wanted to help a lot of people. Videos just completely turned my practice around, shut it down in 2010, and did the videos because I wanted to reach the masses. And maybe this is where you guys are at also. Plus, videos, once you create it, it's done. And we're going to talk about the different types of videos you guys could use in your practice. But once it's done, and it just stays there. I still have people calling me about videos that went viral 10 years ago. Very awesome. Also, it's easy to repurpose. We're going to talk about the 5 different ways that you could repurpose videos. And so that is saving a lot of time, a lot of headache, because you only have to create it once. The cool thing about it is also you gain instant credibility. When people see you, when they're talking to you, when they're looking at you, they're like, oh my gosh, I really like the vibe of this practitioner. Oh, I really like the way this health coach is talking. I want to follow up and talk to them some more, right? So that know, like, and trust factor is really huge. And Google ranks you higher and faster with video. So that is something that you guys have to understand. It really does work. So the other thing is, and Facebook ads are getting trickier to navigate for alternative medicine. The challenge is, of course, now, especially during this crisis, we're not allowed to use certain words, but also in the alternative medicine world, we are just not allowed to say a lot of things. If you're against vaccinations, they take you down. If you're against certain things that are going on in the industry, you just can't say a lot of different things. And your copywriting skills have to be stellar when you're online, right? In order to get people to call you and connect with you, your skills as a writer would have to be super stellar. And the other thing is, who's really watching long webinars? Like, people are falling asleep on long, hour and a half long webinars. And so videos just really cut to the chase. They're short, quick, give the person the answers to their health problems. And that's why it's very cool. So in this presentation, I want to talk about the video marketing strategy I've used successfully in the last 10 years and that are going to get you guys up and running really quick. So strategy 1, we're going to talk the biggest pain point with a lot of people is to gain camera confidence quickly.
Oh, that's a huge one, isn't it?
I know, right? I know. Everybody's
I'm
like,
so glad you're starting with that one. Yeah, that I feel like is probably everybody watching this is just like, that's where they need to start. It's just like, I love that you put camera shy in there. So I'm going to throw in a couple comments here and there if I want to.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. And because a lot of practitioners are used to talking to the peers and just, listing a bunch of facts and slides or whatever. However, when you're in I don't know what it is. The camera, it just completely like I'm like that with pictures. I hate photography sessions, same reason. Strategy number 2, how to profit with videos. No ads are needed. This is a very cool strategy. I'm so excited to share that. And then strategy 3, get more high quality patients who stay longer, right? We don't want the people who are just, oh, I want everything for free because, I'm, with my disease for 30 years and I want you to give everything for free. I'm like, no, dude, we need to get the practitioners understanding how to get the right people and then get them actually to buy into the program and stay longer. So all that and more. I just want to share this. I was out traveling in Spain a few years ago and no intention of working. I was just visiting. I always visit cancer clinics when I'm traveling. And I met the director and his whole family at the Budwick Center. And then they were like, oh my God, you do videos? We need videos. And then come to find out their business actually was going on the downslide and they needed help desperately. They didn't want to close up. They weren't ready to close up. So we got talking, and next thing you know, they hired me, and next thing you know, their business took off, became good friends with them, and they're still doing really, really well. So I'm excited to share that. Here's what Kathy Jenkins, who is a naturopath and the managing director, said. Judy Seeger came to Budwick Center, Spain in June 2017 and quickly saw how she could offer her services to help us with our marketing strategy. She helped us put together videos and emails as well as other tools to help us use a system that works with our logistics. Her experience has helped us greatly, and we remember her when we analyze the reasons our clinic has been doing well steadily since accepting her help. So it works. That's what's so exciting. We turned them around in a couple of weeks, and it's, so it's mostly video. So here we go. And Kathy was more camera shy than her dad. So this is a perfect segue to get in. If you're nervous and camera shy, what are we going to do to get you camera confidence that makes you the authority, the expert in your field, and gets you that instant credibility? So first things first, here we go. And this is very practical, very easy. This is how I started, and it really works, is take a bunch of pictures of yourself and practice angles and lighting. So as you can see here, there's pictures of people taken with their dog, with their cat, with their family. Perfect. This is exactly what you want to do, because video is really no different except that you're talking, but you've got to have good lighting. You have to be able to have a microphone that they could hear you, because people actually get very annoyed when they can't hear you, see you. They just they shut you down, right? They're not going to watch you. So practice that. Just take, like I always tell my students, take about 20 pictures every single day of everybody in your house until they're sick of it and you're getting used to it. And that really works. And then you could start seeing, oh, if I hold my camera this way, my face is in shadow. And wait, if I put the camera this way, wait, I've cut half my head off, like the picture of the dog here, right? She has half her picture, her head cut off, not good, right? So these are things you learn as you're practicing. Now, the other thing that's really, really effective and works is keep your camera in front of you 24/7. There is something psychological when you put that camera on your desk and it's staring at you all day long. And then
that's a great tip.
Yeah. So
I would never even think to do that, but you get used to having it around you.
Right. Exactly.
For me, the only time the camera's out is when I'm about to go live, or I'm recording.
You get nervous.
And then I'm just like, oh, wait, I'm not used to this.
That's exactly right. You get nervous. I used to literally sweat before I got on camera. And so I just learned these little tips that help my students and help me. So you can see I have different tripods. I actually have both of these. And if you need to just prop it up, that's fine too. But there's something about having that staring in your face that actually works. So let's talk about
can I pause you for a second? I just want to share something really quickly about sweating. So when I did my first summit and also when I used to do YouTube videos, I've gotten a lot better. So I just wanted to tell everybody watching, it does get better. But the first time around, I used to have to get a towel, a hand towel. And I would have to put it on my lap and put another towel under my feet if I'd have bare feet or socks on, because I would get so sweaty that I'd have to keep wholding the towel and wiping my hands.
It's a very real. So the biggest fear, what do they say, is standing in front of a crowd to do a talk. Like if you're a speaker,
Mm,
that's one of the biggest fears. But I think number two is standing in front of a camera to speak. It's
yeah,
just as real.
yeah,
It's a very real fear, right?
yeah.
So let's get them used to it, right? And so having the practicing taking pictures, having the camera in front of you, and then let's talk a little bit about what we're looking at for lighting and angles and background, because I do a ton of interviews over the years, with both for my podcast and my video show. And I see the same mistake over and over. So let's talk about it a little bit. So in this, you could see in this picture, like half her face is in bad lighting, right? And then all she did, this is called a ring light, and it's very simple to use, very inexpensive, and then immediately takes everything out. And it makes a big difference, right? You don't want to talk to somebody who's half in the shadow. You want to talk to somebody, oh, you can see everything about them. It's a little bit vulnerable because that's your whole face, but we again want to connect with our people, and that's important. Now here's another huge mistake I see practitioners making all the time. The lighting is in the back instead of the front, and you can see then the whole face is in shadow, right? It doesn't look good, right? It makes a big difference. And all it is a matter of turning the camera around so that the light is coming at you. So I typically go in front of the window, and then that way it's natural lighting. And then I also use a ring light or a studio light if I want to take some more shadows out, depending on if it's a cloudy day or not. But this is something so simple that everybody just needs to realize, right? Here's another big mistake. What are we seeing here, Nikki? What is the big problem with the background here?
Um, Too dark
Have,
and with the at the top one, the top.
yeah, the top one, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's too dark in the background
Too
and
dark, and then they
too
have the
dark on its
fans
face.
showing. It's like so unprofessional.
Yeah,
This is
I'd say the whole background is unprofessional.
the whole background. It's nothing that all he would have had to do is tilt that camera down, put himself back here to the wall,
To
and
the
he would have had
wall.
a very,
Yeah,
very nice back screen that
yeah.
it would have just looked way better. Now, a lot of doctors, a lot of practitioners, what they do is they use a bookshelf with, shows that, oh, they look for it. Really actually distracts. I don't recommend it. I rather have a wall in the back and just the person, and tilt that camera so that you don't see the ceiling. I see so many. I think I'm going to do a video just of all the bad pictures and videos I see people making. That would be kind of fun.
I
But you
like
see
that
again,
idea.
yeah, but you see again,
I
it's
want to
exciting.
just mirror what you're saying about the bookshelf distraction. I actually find the bookshelf, I find myself when I'm watching webinars and videos reading the titles of the books and being like, "Huh, I wonder what they have in the bookshelf. Oh, I never read that before."
Yeah,
I
it's
think sometimes
distracting.
it can be nice to have like an empty table with some candles or something
Yeah.
like that. I know a lot of especially practitioners want to have their credentials behind them. Do you have an opinion on that? Like sitting at the wall with your credentials behind you? I feel like it
It's
looks
fine.
professional, but
Yeah, it's distracting. People want the content. They don't at that point, because I used to do that in my clinic as well. I had a whole wall with all my credentials.
yeah.
They just want help. They don't really care.
They
They
don't
just want to
care whether
know.
you have your,
They
ND
don't.
certificate behind you
They
or
don't.
what.
Can you help them? Can you help? So let's get into talking about that. Strategy number two is videos that make you money. So that's exactly a great segue, Nikki. And I didn't even pay you to say that. It's perfect. Is if can you get to their pain point? Can you give them a solution with the results? Here's where the money is. The faster you could do this, the faster your business grows online and the more money you could charge. So typically in my clinic, I was able to do it within 7 days, but I would always tell them, oh, in 30 days, you're going to feel better. You're going to have all that. Now that I'm on video, it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. You just tell them, hey, are you having problems with insomnia? Are you having problems with chronic fatigue? Are you having problems with, whatever it is? And here in 30 days on a program, we could get you noticeable improvement. You could say that on video, and they will then say, oh, you have an answer? Oh, I want to hear more about what you say. And we'll talk about how we're going to do that. So how are you going to find these hot topics? Typically, every practitioner that I know is like, hey, man, I'm an anti-aging specialist. Hey, I'm really happy for you, but you will be swallowed by the internet. You cannot just say you're an anti-aging specialist. That doesn't work. It's not going to make you money. On video, your practice will tank as you go online. Here's what you got to do. you go to something called Google Trends. Google Trends works really, really well. I've used that with my students and my clients who want to get online. And all it is, it's a free search tool. And you just type in Google Trends and this page comes up. And then what'll come up is you will see a picture of the world, and then you're going to see charts and all that kind of stuff, right? So what are you looking for? I put in, for example, I think the word I put in was insomnia, because right now during the crisis, everybody's not having issues with insomnia. And what came up was that the highest ranking on the chart is 100. And you could see it's staying right up there. And then at the very end, you're looking for it to go up, right? You don't want it to go down. If it starts taking spikes downward, you don't want that. You want everything to go up. Google Trends will tell you basically what are people looking for help with right now. Then you go and check and say, oh, I can see that insomnia is a issue that is a big deal right now. Let me talk about insomnia and what they need to get that rebalance so they are having a good night's sleep. And then you can go into all your anti-aging program, right? So it's much more niche, much more specific, and it is a hot topic. So that really works. Here's another cool trick about Google Trends that a lot of people don't know. I actually changed somebody's practice around who she does low testosterone, the pellet therapy, right? Mm-hmm. And she had products and she couldn't get people to buy her products. And she was a local person and didn't understand. They were coming in for pellet therapy, but it really worked much better with supplements and they were not doing it. So I said, well, let's do a little research. Let's figure it out. Come to find out of all the different places in the world that people were looking at her stuff was in Puerto Rico. And she was like, what? Puerto Rico? So what we did, we emphasized all her campaign, her videos, everything toward Puerto Rico. She, within like a month, she was selling $10,000 worth of supplements per month. $10,000 per month because
That's
she
amazing.
Figured out where it was very amazing. It was really a lot of fun to see that. And she was like, I cannot believe. And so it works. This Google Trends actually works. So here you can see insomnia. Who would know that Rhode Island was the #1 place that they're suffering with insomnia right now? I didn't know that. District of Columbia, Pennsylvania. So you take your top 3 and you market to
New York. I would have guessed New York, or, you know, if I had to make a guess, I would be like probably New York or California, exactly. But like Rhode Island. You're a smart cookie. I just have to say to everybody that this Google Trends, I am learning with you guys. You know, I never even saw this tool before. So you've definitely opened my eyes already to a couple things that I have never thought about or never used. So thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Because I want you guys to be profitable right out of the gate. Yeah. And this is how it works. You cannot just guess, and you cannot just say, I'm an anti-aging specialist, or I'm a hormone balancing specialist, or I'm a chronic fatigue specialist. It doesn't work. You have to really hone in on what they're looking for right here, right now. So that's the states. Now, another one that's really cool is called answerthepublic.com for content, because the other issue that a lot of people are like, hey, I don't really know what all to write. You know, you kind of run out of ideas. So this is called Answer the Public. I tried to get the picture so it was bigger, but I didn't probably succeed. But I looked up again insomnia. And what it is these are all the questions that people type in about insomnia. And it's very specific questions that they ask. So they will ask, why do I have insomnia in menopause, right? This question here. And you could see the dots are from dark green to light green, meaning the dark green spots are the ones that are most popular, and it goes down from there. So what I typically do is I'll say, oh, I'm looking for insomnia, and I will take all the dark green dots and those questions. So why insomnia during menopause, when insomnia hits is another one. And I take all those dark green, and so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe like 10 questions that the public is asking, and I will make videos on that. So I don't have to guess. I am giving people exactly what they want because it's showing up that this is what they're asking, right? Very, very specific, right? And if it doesn't apply to you, like if you don't do menopause stuff, no problem. Just go to the next one until you find the ones like where does insomnia come from? When does insomnia hit? Where insomnia is better. And, you know, like they're just, and it doesn't make sense how they ask it, it doesn't matter. Don't guess. Use this tool. Again, it's a free tool. A lot of internet marketers use this, and I'm like, hey, a holistic crowd, hey, we could use this, right? And I've used it for my cancer detox people, and I hit it spot on because they call me and say, how did you know what I was thinking? How did you know what was in my head? And I'm like, oh, I just, whatever, And this is what the tools I use between Google Trends and Answer the Public, right? It
This is
works.
so cool. I've never seen this one either. Let me
No,
ask
right?
a quick question about that. I'm not sure if you know this, and I can Google it myself too. But Answer the Public, are you just doing single word search terms, or can you do things that are a little bit more like long tail?
No, you got to do short. I
Sure.
did try
Okay.
that. So for me, cancer detox. There is no searches for cancer detox, right? So it has to be, but that's okay because Answer the Public will break it down into more details, and they will just say, oh, can I do a detox? So you put the word cancer in, for example, which is my industry, and then they'll say like, oh, can I do a detox after chemo, or what do I do after chemo? Which is exactly my niche. And I'm like, oh, good, there is a question there about that. So you cannot do long-term keywords on this. You have to go pretty much. Now, what I've also learned,
to go as short as possible, and then you can
short as
just start
possible.
collating that information, right? So
Correct. Yeah, but
cancer
just as a
detox.
tip, that's a great question. Sometimes people, because I have a student, Dr. Tanisha Wards, who does chronic fatigue, and I said, okay, let's look at chronic fatigue as a word. But then what I learned, because there was not a big, massive spike in Google Trends, so I said, let's look up more tired, right? And it was a huge spike that people were more tired. That was the word they were using. So then I put that in Answer the Public, and sure enough, there were even more questions about being more tired, right? Not chronic fatigue. Sometimes you have to, just segue the words a little bit into something a little bit different. You got to think like your people, because
And
that's what's going to connect with them.
yeah, and that's a great point too. And just sometimes we can get, especially when we're like practitioners, we can get really like mired in our own lexicon and jargon.
Yep.
And right,
Yep.
so even insomnia is not something that everybody's looking for. Some people don't
True.
even know the word insomnia yet, or they're just like, I can't sleep, or I'm more tired, for the chronic fatigue crowd. So I think when you're a practitioner, even sitting down with a list of like a paper and a pen and just start writing down like, what are some words that go the step below insomnia, right?
Exactly.
Tired,
Exactly.
I
That's
can't
a great point. Yeah.
on
Or I look
up
on
all night.
Yeah, or I look on YouTube and see, and I just plug in insomnia and I look at what the competition is doing, and then
Mhm.
I get a ton of ideas from that as well. Great point, Nick. That's exactly right. Okay, so let's go into, again, making money with your videos. Get the results in 30 days or less, like I was saying before. Here's the secret sauce. Profits are in one-on-one coaching. It just is. You could go into group coaching and all that later on, but if you want to make quick money, you want to get your videos up, you want to get your practice so it doesn't tank right now or at any time, and have a sustainable business, you got to do some one-on-one coaching. And then each video, you got to understand this, needs a CTA, which is your call to action. So typically what I do at the very end, I'll say, hey, if you guys want to book a call, my calendar is here, and you guys could go ahead and book a call with me. We could just see if it's a good fit, 10, 15 minutes, right? So I use calendly.com. People like you, Nikki, who are like high tech, probably use something like Acuity. Doesn't
I'm
matter.
Calendly all the way.
Oh, okay, great,
All the
great.
way, Calendly.
Here's the deal though. I've noticed that people are a little bit afraid to call because then they think, oh my God, it's big bucks. And it is. And so you give them a little incentive. So that's when you say, hey, if you'd like to do a call, I'm also offering this, checklist or guide on the 10 ways you could fall asleep faster. And they're like, oh, I get to talk to you and get this guide. Nobody is doing that. They all just push book a call or the giveaway. Listen, combo, do the combo. Say, look, I'm giving you the free gift plus you could book a call and there's no charge for a 15-minute consult. It works. So video, book a call, get them on a one-to-one program. That's how it really works, right? So here's something that a lot of people don't know about when you're giving the free stuff away. It has to be really on point with what your video is saying. Like you can't really give just a general, oh, you know, here's a checklist to feel better with your hormones. It has to be specifically about what you're talking about. If you're talking about hot flashes with your hormones, then that's very specific. So my good buddy, Dr. Jennifer Daniels, brilliant physician, went to Harvard and Wharton Business School, and she said, none of that really helped me. What I figured out was this free report, which has gone viral many times over for her, and she still gets calls from it. It's called the Confidential Underground Report, top secret, the Candida Cleaner, right? So what is this free report about? Candida. End of story. It's simple. Don't get complicated with your giveaways because people don't want confusion. They want an answer to their pain that you know that they're going to get a solution with results. So Candida Cleaner, and it sounds kind of hokey. Oh, confidential underground report, top secret, but it catches people's eye. And look how simple it is. It's just black and red. That's it. Simple, simple, simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. So when I went viral, this is my YouTube page. You could see I was doing detox and the cancer detox didn't come till later. This was my first year out after I closed my clinic and I went online and I went viral 5 times. It was on gallbladder attacks. I didn't know that that was going to be a hot topic, but I'm like, okay, if I could get them in gallbladder, then I could get them in liver stuff. Then I could get them in cleansing their whole body and do a whole body detox. That was my thinking anyway. And so you can see the first one went viral. It was 460,000. I still get people calling me on it, but it was just slides. It was something simple. Gallbladder attack symptoms, like nothing fancy. You got to keep it simple on YouTube or on your videos because they don't want to get bogged down with anything like don't make it clever. I see a lot of people trying to make things clever. It's not necessary. So I took those keywords, gallbladder diet, liver detox diet. I just put those up there and that's what made it go viral. So this is somebody I work with. She was so anti-video. Oh my goodness. Kathy was like somebody who hated the camera. Yet, catch this. She said, Judy, help me with my video strategy. Wasn't easy at first, but her patience and persistence really paid off. I now get people asking about my videos all the time. Plus, I have much more clarity about my niche and how to reach the right people. You can't go wrong working with Judy. And that's somebody right here in my backyard, Kathy Hall. So what's cool is we double dip because she hated the video camera. It took us hours and hours to make one video because she was like resistant. But once she stepped into it, she's like, oh, like it's like I'm talking to somebody. Oh, okay, I get it. Mm-hmm. And then we got into her niche and she really honed it down, which is what ultimately, just like with Kathy Jenkins from the Budwig Center, did the exact same thing. We got into the niche because it forces you that in that 5-minute video, you have got to get to their pain point and solution really, really quick. You don't have 30 minutes to talk to them. You have just a few minutes to catch their attention and get into that niche. And that really works. Okay, so let's get into strategy number 3, the long game. How do you once you're getting the people to watch your videos, how do you keep them on board? How do you sustain your business in the long run with videos? Here's the number 1 way. It works. I've been doing this for 30 years, both in my clinic and in my online work. Keep your patients and clients in the loop by using packages for your CTA, your call to action. Videos give you the best credibility with a know, like, and trust factor, right? So as they get to know you, as they see you, as they like you, they're going to trust you and like, okay, I want to work with you for a while because like you obviously know your stuff and you're giving me these freebies and we've talked, right? So here's video strategies that work to keep them in the loop, right? Okay, here's one type. It's called video tutorials, right? So what it is you make a tutorial and once you make it, it's done. Everybody who runs a clinic, everybody who's now online loves this because once you make it and explain to them about different things, you don't have to do it again. Like who loves to repeat the same thing over and over and over to every single client that you work with? Like nobody, right? No, we hate that part, right? So why not make a video tutorial? So here's some examples. how the new office procedures work. So telemedicine, telehealth is really hot right now, and it will be. It's actually changed the industry for so many businesses, and this is no exception. You say, hey, everybody, I'm Judy. I'm so happy to have you guys on here. Telemedicine is here in our practice. Love to show you guys how to do that. Let me walk you through, and you have screenshots, screenshots, screenshots. It's super, super easy, so that every single time somebody contacts you, whether it's your website, email, social media, you send them this link before they get on with you. And then they say, oh, I see how this works. Okay, perfect. Because a lot of people are afraid of the tech stuff. They're afraid of, oh, what if I push the wrong button? Or I don't know how to download Zoom. Walk them through. You're going to get your people, you're going to keep your people, because they love feeling smart with you, right? We want to make them feel smart. And that's how you do with the videos. Another one is how supplements work. I did this with Dr. Tanisha, where she had a wonderful health package and it was not selling. I said, that's because they don't really understand it. They don't really know vitamin D and the different types of vitamin C. So make a video once for your package and say, here, this is the things we do in our package. And one of the things we do is supplements that you get in your package, and explain what the different supplements are. And they're like, oh, Dr. Tanisha is telling me all about why vitamin D is important and how it really works. And then they feel so smart. What are they going to do? They're not only going to feel more confident in you, they are going to tell other people about you. And that's the win-win. And then tell them about your therapies, right? So if there's therapies that they could do at home, you're going to tell them, like I would tell them to do detoxes at home, get in their sauna, or do some dry skin brushing. I made videos and I would show them, hey, this is how you do it. And they're like, what? My doctor is doing, my health coach is what? And they like it because they're like, oh, that's for real, right? This is not made up. This is not something fancy. It's like, I now see how I need to do it correctly because my authority in this showed me, and they feel better. Again, anytime you could give them to feel assured, feel confident, they're going to buy in and stay in. That's the key there.
It's super smart too, because as I'm listening to you, I'm just thinking like video is a really beautiful way, much more than like an email or a PDF guide. Like it makes them feel like they're getting FaceTime with you, even though you just recorded it once. Video is so much more intimate. It really, if you're showing me how to detox, how to get in the sauna, how to dry brush versus like, oh, here's a PDF or a blog post. Like I feel like, oh, I'm here with like my health coach or my naturopath, my practitioner, who's actually taking the time to walk me through how to do it. And you're not, they feel like they're getting a little extra. I would feel like I was getting a little extra.
Oh, the attention is wonderful. I know some practitioners who are taking their people into their kitchen and saying, look, this is what I eat every day. I love that. Dr. Terry Walls is doing that, where she had MS and she reversed it. And and it's so soothing. It's like, oh, if Dr. Terry is doing it, oh my gosh, I feel so good that, oh, she's the leader and she knows how to do this. I watch it just because it's soothing to find somebody of that caliber. She's done, I don't know how many TEDx talks. She's brilliant. And it makes you feel more confident that, oh, this is what you eat. This is how you go shopping. This is how you prepare the foods. And a lot of us forget that because we've been running clinics and being out there in the forefront, and we're forgetting. It's like, listen, people just want to know what you're eating and drinking. So you could use that as a share of, this is what you want your clients to do, and also what you do. People make that connection and they really like it, because now they feel like that you're a part of them. Dr. Anna Kabeka, who's known as the girlfriend doctor, brilliant. That's exactly what everybody, oh my God. And she's a triple board certified doctor, right? But she's making videos that makes everybody feel comfortable. It's like, they don't even think of her as being this super smart, high IQ doctor. It's like they connect with her. And that's what we want to do, is that connection, right? So the other thing that really works very, very well is video success stories. Another way to connect, right? People want proof. Videos with your patients, clients, reassure your patients. And then what's the other cool part is they could be repurposed on the emails and social media. So you take that video that you've made with your client and your patient, and then you put it all different places. And it could be set up with fast finding keywords, meaning anytime you do a video testimonial. And these are people that they're at home right now. They could do it where they're like, hey, I've been working with this doc and this is the results I've gotten. And I just, want to tell the world. So it could be knee pain. It could be chronic fatigue, could be insomnia, whatever it is, that they see it. And once you get that video, you grab it and you put it everywhere so that people are like, oh, it's not just the doctor saying this, not just the practitioner saying this. It's like these other people. There's more power in a video testimonial than there is in a written testimonial, right? Because now they see you and see the person and they have more confidence in it. So this is Dr. Robert Rowan. I know him very well. He makes horrible videos. I have told him over and over, dude, make better videos. But he's gone viral with it. He's an ozone doctor, very, very famous out in California, and love him to pieces. And I mean, this is just somebody that held up the camera and said, oh my God, knee pain relief. Done, right? And people are like, what? Somebody got knee pain relief? They don't care, right? They just want to see that other people have done it. And now he has, I don't know how many videos on YouTube, on his website, on his emails. He's always sharing all these different videos of people who have been healed by using his therapy. So again, pay attention here. Very important point I just want to bring out. His keyword is knee pain relief. That's his keyword right there. Mm-hmm. So whenever you make a video, you've got to put that there, right? On the headline, in your description, because when people are looking for you, right, they want to make sure that, oh, this is a video about knee pain relief and somebody who worked with Dr. Rowan. Oh, okay. They don't know that part, but they do know that there's somebody who got knee pain relief. So that is a very important tip that you need to include there.
And do you find, I just want to pause you for a second. So you were talking about like this lady's obviously just picked up her smartphone and recorded it.
Yeah.
Do you feel that it adds more credibility to just have just average people just pick up their phone,
Sure is. Yep. It doesn't have to, again, it doesn't matter how they look. Some of them are in their jammies, their sweatpants. Yeah. Who cares? Nobody cares anymore. You know what is hot right now? Authenticity. Yeah. So the more authentic, which is why TikTok is like going viral, and all these other platforms go viral because people right now want to connect with the authentic people. They don't want the fancy stuff. They don't want everything like absolutely picture perfect on the videos. They just want to know that other people have done this and they've succeeded, so that maybe it could help them with their health problems, right?
So you would, if you were a practitioner and you were reaching out to your clients for testimonials, you wouldn't coach them around like like we were talking about earlier about our own videos. We don't need to coach our testimonials about
No, I would give them
like
a quick
nice lighting, because it actually seems more legit and more authentic to just have someone grab their phone and just start talking, versus nice lighting. I think that consumers are getting so sophisticated that we're a little like trigger happy when it comes to like it almost, in my opinion, it adds more credibility to just have your patients and the people you work with just pick up their phone and just start recording versus you get them in a studio with nice lighting. I mean, that can look great, but it also feels very staged. Would you agree?
Yeah, well, and exactly. That's what Dr. Rowan did. He would have them in his office. The lighting was horrible. The microphone was horrible. The questions were horrible. Everything was horrible. However, he kept doing them until he figured out how to get it more populated, right? And what he figured out was he has to put these keywords right up there on top. And then it's like, oh, okay, bingo. Now he has it. And then he started asking people to just do the video testimonials. Now, I will say, you have to give them a little incentive. And so you say, hey, listen, if you do this video testimonial for you, I will send you my checklist and my guidebooks and anything you have to say thank you for taking the time to do this video testimonial will go a long way to get you a quality testimonial. Again, they might go like 10 minutes talking. Don't worry about it. You could edit it. It's super simple. It's not that hard. You can get somebody to do that for you. It's really easy. You just want them to get that video testimonial for you so that it shows your credibility as a practitioner, right?
That's super smart to offer an incentive. And just one more question around that. Yeah. When you're reaching out to your clients for testimonials, do you offer them some kind of template? Are you like offering them like kind of leading questions or things like that? You're just
I just say, tell me your story. That's
Okay.
it. I say, no, your name, I do ask if I could use their name and where they live. Sometimes their age, depending, right? Because when I was heavy into ozone therapy, I really wanted a lot of testimonials, but that was it. And I said, just tell me what happened. Tell me what happened from the beginning to end. And they just take off. They just like, oh, okay. And I, I think they like their little 5 minutes of fame now. So
When you
it's
ask
not really,
people, people love to tell their story.
they
You
sure
know,
do.
I like that you can incentivize it as well, but I think a lot of people, you know, and this is definitely like a side topic and a segue that we won't get into, but just like people are lonely and people love
They
to
are.
speak about themselves. So
Yeah.
they
It's
can
just a matter of getting on and
ask them what their
clients, yeah,
experience.
calling them up and say, hey, you might have to call 10, 20 people, but it's okay because you're also asking them how they're doing. So
Mhm.
it's kind of a double dip, but it works because just like you said, Nick, that they are lonely, they want to share their story. And this is a perfect way that they could help you, you could help them, and it's a nice win-win situation.
Yeah, beautiful. I love that.
Yeah, so video strategy review. So what do? We talked about number one, practicing your camera until you're comfortable. Pay attention to lighting and angles whenever you do that. Number two, focus on your hot topics, getting them fast results or noticeable improvement. And then number three, use packages with your success stories. And that really works. And it's just that simple. 1, 2, 3, ABC. And you do just these three things, you're going to get people calling, you're going to get your practice up and running, and you're going to actually make it. And I want to just share with you one last story about Jeanette, who was super, again, not loving video, not loving anything techie. She said, I knew nothing about videos or emails. I'm completely non-techie, but Judy was incredibly patient with me and made me feel super comfortable doing the videos, which I had never done before. And we had a lot of good laughs too. We sure did. She said, I highly recommend Judy. She is knowledgeable and knows her stuff when it comes to online branding. People love my new program, which Judy helped me create. And the reason I bring her up, because I just talked to her the other day and she was booming all along. And then she was like, contacted me again and said, I think I need to do videos again. I need to get back in there and doing videos. I'm like, yeah, Jeanette, that's perfect. So it worked with her business because the videos opened up the door. She knew nothing about starting her business, but then she got into her niche and she just crushed it in her little town of Cleonia, Pennsylvania. You probably won't know where that is, Nikki.
I have no
But
idea.
oh, that's how little small that little town is. But she crushed it, absolutely crushed it. So, as a gift to everybody watching and listening here, Nikki, I appreciate you putting the summit together so much. Is how to profit and keep patient retention with videos. It's a whole strategy checklist I created. The link is here. But of course, Nikki will put it somewhere where you guys just could click on it. And it will show you guys everything I talked about and then some, so that you have a step-by-step guide of how to do this and how to really get your system going for your business. My ultimate mission, just so everybody knows, is to get all the practitioners, everybody who's in the holistic health field, reaching hundreds of thousands of people. We need to be in the forefront. We need to be reaching our people. We need to be helping them. And I know videos could do that. So my mission is to teach you guys how to do it using the videos so that you can ultimately reach the thousands and thousands of people who need you and move forward to help the masses. That's really what it's all about. So I really appreciate you helping me get this word out there, Nikki, and getting the people to understand it's not that hard. Just has to be a strategy implemented. And then once they do, bingo, they're reaching the masses. And now we're out in the forefront, right?
That's beautiful. And we'll put the link below the video for people to grab that. I love that presentation so much. I took 2 pages of notes. I have 2 questions for you.
Okay.
The first one is, you didn't touch on this, so this is kind of a little bit more of a strategy question, and I just want to know your opinion about it too. So I've heard about, and I think that practitioners, any content creator, you're going to reach that point where you feel like, well, I don't want to give away my best content. And so I want to know, what's your opinion on just creating your best content and putting it out there on videos, especially if people have protocols and they have, because you can get really cagey about like, I want to keep this to myself or keep it behind a paywall. What's your opinion on that? Do you recommend, do you coach people into like putting really good content out there, giving away more and then enticing? Because that's how I feel about it. But I want to hear what your opinion is on that.
Yeah, being on video, and I've made now about 400 videos and done a ton of interviews. I was the same way. I didn't
Amazing.
want to give away everything.
Yeah.
But what I learned is the more I gave away, the more people were like, I don't really know how to do this for me. And then they would call me because I put my phone number literally is all over the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have a problem with that, but some people might not feel comfortable with that. But I see a lot of celebrities doing that as well now. So it's like, it's a cool thing now.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the deal is all the information I put out there, but here's a trick is only tell them what they need to do and why they need to do it with the benefits of it, but never give away the how.
Okay.
Never give away. So what is it that you need for insomnia? You need to eat right. You need to have exercise. You need to rebalance your hormones, get your liver going, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that important? Because if your liver is imbalanced, then you're going to have problems with your hormones, which might be causing insomnia. And I recommend chamomile tea or valerian root, right? And then that's it. You stop there. You don't tell them how much should they take.
Mm-hmm.
How are they going to take that valerian? When is the best time to take that valerian, right? You don't tell them the how because that's the expertise that they're hiring you for.
Yeah.
So at the end, you say, hey, you know what? I'm so glad you watched this video about insomnia and using valerian and chamomile tea. If you guys like to book a call to find out how we could help you with that program using these things, why don't you give me a call? Here's my calendar. See?
I
So
love it. Yeah.
it's very non-pushy. It makes sense to the people because they're like, oh yeah, everybody is different. So I'm really hurting and I really need to call this person to find out how I need to. Now on the call, you don't tell them either all the details because they haven't hired you yet. And this is the other mistake everybody makes. They get on the call and then they tell them how to use valerian. It's just like, no, you say, look, I hear your story. I understand that you've been through all these different things and you have all these problems. Here's my program. Now you get into what your program entails so they could learn how to solve their problem. So that's where packages come in. You say, look, I do unlimited calls. I have tutorials. I have this, I have this, I have this, right? And it includes all these different things. Is that something you'd be interested in starting with me so that we could help you with this health challenge? And then they're going to say yes or no, right? Never give them an answer because they're going to say like, well, I thought I was getting on the call to how. I says, well, but I don't know your whole story. I don't have your labs. I don't have your history. I don't know anything. I'm just looking to explain to you more in detail what it takes for you. And you outline the path of your package, right?
Cool.
That works.
Yeah. And you know what I love about the video strategy that I've used myself too is like, I like how video allows you to kind of daisy chain other videos together. And so when I'm creating content, I always think I'm opening up a question, answering that question, and then opening another question up at the end. So that even whether that's from an educational standpoint or even just a content chain, there's somewhere to go next. And then with YouTube, you get to use the cards at the end and you can guide them through a journey. Like this would be the next video, right? So then, maybe in your example, that guides us to, I don't know, a cooking recipe about how to wildcraft your own chamomile leaves and make them into a tea, right? And then that would like lead you to the next video. So I like this kind of chaining them together. And I like the concept of like opening a question, answering that question, and then keeping another open-ended question at the end.
And that's a great point, Nikki, because if your videos are short, which is what I always recommend, 3 to 5 minutes, I literally have had people tell me, I spent an hour watching all your videos because they're so spot on. And it's like you're reading my mind because again, I've done my homework, right?
Yeah.
So those 5 minutes could go into the next 5 minutes, into the next 5 minutes. By that time, they want to hire you because they're like, this person knows their stuff. Yeah. And I want in. So
and I've gotten into those loops with other people too, other practitioners, or whether I'm learning, doesn't matter whether I'm learning which cameras to get for video or something about my business. Like you get like, how good is that for the no like trust factor when you're just like, it's a short 3 to 5 minutes. It answers my question. And then it leads me to the next question, which I'm like, yeah, I'd like to know that too. Okay, hit play. Oh, I'd like to know that too.
Works. It definitely works. You don't want to give them too much at one time. You know, they get
Right.
overwhelmed
Yeah.
quickly. It's just like
Yeah.
when they come in the office, and if we talk to them for 2 hours, it's way too much, right? Keep it really short and simple. Hit their
Yeah.
pain point, give them the solution, give them a few tips. Next, and you're
People
done.
think they have to put everything in a video. If I'm looking, say I want to, I don't know, in my web design business, if I'm looking how to fix a certain problem and I have the option of a 1 minute video or a 4 minute video, I know which one I'm going with.
Yep,
I just want,
exactly.
tell me how to do it. I
Yep.
don't
If
need this
you're,
whole exposition and 20 minutes of explanation and the whole history about it. I have a question. I want my question answered. So I think
that's right.
in that sweet spot of 3 to 5 minutes is awesome.
Yep.
So I have one more question for you. And this is something that a lot of people watching maybe are just brand new to video, and maybe some people are brand new to content creation. So with video, can you walk us through like some steps how people can repurpose their video content? So I'm just thinking people may have never even thought about like all the ways that you could take a video and what you could do with it.
Yeah, that's a great question. So, a lot of people don't have, I don't have fancy cameras. I just use what's on my laptop and I use my camera. So nowadays it's so much easier than it used to be years ago. It used to take me hours. Now it's seconds. So here's what you do is if they're holding up their camera, and I always recommend using a tripod, they make their video, and then when they're ready to download it, there is a share button on the bottom option. They could literally push that share button and it could go to Facebook. They could download it into their Dropbox. They could put it in YouTube. They could put it all these different places, right? That share button is right there. And that is one of the easy. I personally, I always put it into YouTube because I have a YouTube channel, but it's not necessary. You could just put it in your computer. I always recommend doing it just on not the cloud, because there are issues with the cloud unless it's Dropbox, right? But technically I put it in my computer, and then I could upload it into YouTube. And then from there, I could put it into, all these other avenues. Once you have that link, that's the link that you want to be able to put it in your email. So let's go through the 5 different places. Emails for sure. As soon as you make a video, it should go right into your emails to your people. Say, hey, I made a new video about, whatever you're making. Then another place is your social media, whether you're using Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Instagram, a video for Instagram is actually good as well, but you could just upload the link so they could watch it. Twitter is also another one. Also on, other than the social media, I consider YouTube is not necessarily social media. It's a little bit different, but having a YouTube channel so that people could start liking you, subscribing, and that kind of stuff, right?
And YouTube's one of the biggest search engines
It's the
too.
biggest
So
search
it's
engine,
like,
as we mentioned.
it's the biggest one. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. I knew it was at the
Yeah.
top there.
And the number one place is put on your website on the front and center page. It's like, hey, I have a new video, and put it right there. And then in a blog, right? Now, here's another tip is when they put it in the blog, you could put some points underneath with the keywords in there. And now people are like, oh, there's more. I don't have to watch the whole video. I could see the summary. And they love that. Sometimes they don't want to just listen or watch. They want to just read it really quick. So you put some key points in there, which also makes people search on your website. So it's like a triple dip. And
And
so
you can
having a
transcribe the
blog,
whole video too, right? And just put
you can, it's a little bit more advanced, but you could send it to something like rev.com, and then
yeah,
they
I've
could
used that. And
transcribe it.
TEMI.com.
Yeah, there's a few of them, absolutely. And then you could just take the whole transcription of the video, put it up on your website, done. You don't have to do anything. But if people are just beginning, I like to keep it simple. 3 points, which is your notes anyway, right? When you make your video, 3 points, put it in your website, on your blog, done. And then now people are like, oh, I get to see the summary. Now maybe I want to go see what the details are about the video, right?
Yeah. And these are some, just so people don't feel overwhelmed, these are some more advanced tactics, but it's good to know. Like for me, I like to just do things once, and I like to be, repurpose them. So my whole like MO, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to create something, it's like, how many ways can I repurpose this? So the video, like everything that you said, but you can have some advanced tactics too. So you can get transcripts and put them on a blog post, or turn them into, a PDF. You can make a freebie that goes specifically with that video. You could turn it into a podcast, rip out the
A
MP3
series like
file.
you were mentioning, Nikki, which is really smart when you were saying about the daisy chain effect. That should be a name,
Daisy chain effect.
where you put 5 videos together. Like I just made a series
Mhm.
on telemedicine, right? How
Yeah.
do you start telemedicine the
Yeah.
right way? There's a right way and a wrong way, right? With videos. And I made a 5-part series. I put it up on Facebook. I put it on my YouTube. But now I made a landing page and
Mhm.
I put on there all 5 videos. And then I put book a call. So if a practitioner is like, hey, I want help starting it up, there it is. Now it's a series, it's a landing page, it looks very nice, it looks very professional, and it's like, oh, you could actually include that in your program. It's a giveaway, but again, it's book a call so that you could get them into your higher ticketed programs, right?
It's so smart, and have, just, I like the idea of having little series and then having a targeted lead magnet that goes with that series, because people are watching the video and that's great to get views, but how do we get people on the mailing list? How do we get people booking a call with you?
Oh,
So
that's a whole other strategy. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. But the video can be a great, I think video is an awesome way to get in there.
It's the number one way that people in our business have to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Videos, telemedicine, telehealth is here to stay.
Yeah.
It's not going to go away. The whole everything that everybody said in the clinic, oh, I'm going to eventually get to it's here,
It's
and it's
here.
not going away. So you got to work smart and have a good video strategy, and not just it's not just about that. It really is this whole strategy that can be used effectively. And once it's done, it's done. Then it becomes automated and you don't have to think about it.
Yeah, and you outlined that very beautifully, guys. Judy's a smart cookie. I love this. Thank you so much for being here with us. And guys, go grab Judy's freebie and get those videos, get those cameras out. And like,
Yeah, let's see how.
one of my favorite things that you said, and I just want to kind of end with this, is just like, we all have this in our pocket. You don't need fancy cameras. I don't have a fancy camera. I'm just using my phone. And so you can get started where you're at. You don't need, maybe invest, like I agree with you, invest in a tripod so that you have a steady base for your camera. Turn it like this so you don't have these videos unless you're doing the Instagram stories, which they're oriented that way, right? They're like the vertical. And other than that, you have all the tools that you need to just upload it right from your phone. So thank you for being here with us. It's been a great pleasure to have you on here with me. And bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you being here with us. I hope that in this session you learned something impactful and something powerful that's going to help transform your business. Before I leave, I just wanted to let you know that this session was sponsored by my business, Brand Better, branding, websites, funnels, and more for the wellness entrepreneur. If you want to learn more about my business, you can head over to brandbetter.online to find out more. And I also wanted to make sure to invite you to join me on Friday, the last day of the conference, July 3rd, for a half-day masterclass where I'm going to help you put this all together, the Wellness Business Accelerator, and make sure that we take all of the great concepts that you just learned in all of these amazing presentations with these great rockstar speakers and make a plan for your business. So it's going to be live and interactive. Check out your email to make sure what time it is on Friday, but it is going to be a live half-day masterclass. So I hope that you join me. I'd love to see you there. We're going to get some really good work done and make sure that we take all of these concepts and they're not just these, just sit and watch and take some notes and not actually employ any of these strategies. I want to make sure that these are real actionable things that you put in your business. So join me there on Friday. Go over and check out brandbetter.online to learn more about my business. And I'll see you on the next interview. Bye.